Welcome back, friends, to another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omniate video. Lids87 here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Ceodore, a brand new character being introduced into the global side of the game, to see how worthy they are of your precious tickets and or gems. Now, before I get into it though, friends, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and shoutouts where shoutouts are due. Rems Database, Materia Bot, Compendium, and Toneberry Troop. Those links will be down below in the description. Now, on March 10th, UTC time, we are going to be getting the next part for Act 3, Chapter 1, and that's going to be Part 2. And on this slide, it does confirm that there is going to be a free multi-draw for the Story Draw banner. On this banner, there we go. We have Ceodore with all of his weapons. His LD weapon, Onion Knight, will be a synergy character in terms of his burst weapon. So if you haven't picked it up yet, this is a good spot to do so. And then we have Sid and Alpha Bro. Alpha no, but I call him Alpha Bro, in terms of synergy for the next story chapter. All right, friends, so let's go ahead and take a look at Ceodore to see what he's going to be bringing to the global side of the game. Now, I may be pronouncing the name wrong. It's Ceodore. I'm not sure. Let me know down below in the description. Mark was telling me how to say it from the TCC Crystal Chronicles podcast, so if I'm just gonna say Ceodore because it's just gonna come off naturally while I present this video. All right, friends, so if I'm saying it wrong, please forgive me, especially if you're a Final Fantasy IV After Years fan. Talking about Final Fantasy IV After Years, that is where Ceodore is from, and in Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, he is going to be a Black Crystal Affinity character. He is a new character, and in terms of what he does, he's a holy attacker, a healer with some support built into his kit. Now, if you are already familiar and would like to skip ahead to different portions of this video, there are going to be timestamps down below in the time frame description and comments. Everybody else, let's go ahead and talk about what Ceodore is going to do in the game. So Ceodore's very first ability is called Saint's Blast. He has 9 uses of this. This is a 6-hit holy ranged brave plus HP attack with 50% HP splash, hitting at 50% brave potency per brave hit. Passives increase the brave damage by 60% if he is up to 60% if he is attacking a broken target and if he is hitting weakness. With Saint's Blast, he will inflict a debuff called Holy Linchpin on the target and also grant himself red wings. Holy Linchpin, it is a 4-turn debuff that will lower that enemy's holy resist down, allowing Ceodore to hit harder or any of your other units that do holy damage, while also decreasing that target's attack by 20%. Red Wings is a 6-turn buff on Ceodore that is going to holy enchant him, so just make him hit a little bit harder with the holy element, plus 50% max brave and attack, and this will convert his or upgrade his brave and HP attack to their plus forms. So brave attack plus is going to heal the party in terms of both brave and HP, and his HP attack plus will heal allies brave. Saint's Blast is also his call action. Ceodore is going to pop in, perform Saint's Blast, but this will still inflict Holy Linchpin on the target for 4 turns, and the caller will receive a 3-turn caller effect that will enchant them with Holy Enchant. So if that unit that called them does non-elemental damage, they will greatly benefit from this, while also improving their max brave and attack by 40%. Ceodore's second ability, Awakening, he has 4 uses of this. This is not an offensive ability, but it does set him up nicely. So what this is going to do, this is instant turn rate. He's going to self-cleanse any debuffs that he has on him. He will heal his HP by 100%. He will brave heal by 100% of current HP. If you currently have any active Red Wings buff on him, it's going to extend that duration by 2 turns, and he will grant himself a special effect called Awaken. Now, this special effect, Awaken, it's going to do something interesting for Ceodore. So it is a 4-turn special effect buff on Ceodore. That means it can't be dispelled. It is going to increase his attack and max brave by 50%. It will increase his max HP by 30%. And it will also allow him or increase his Stolen Brave Overflow by 30%. But at the end of the expiration of Awaken, this will consume 80% of Ceodore's own HP. So if you decide to pull for Ceodore and play him, just be very, very careful with the timing of this, especially if you're being targeted. So either refresh it by using his Awakening ability or his LD ability, which we're going to talk about here in a moment. While Awaken is active on Ceodore, his Brave Attack and HP Attack will upgrade to their plus Awaken forms, and this will override his previous plus versions. Now, Brave Attack plus, this is a 5-hit AoE Holy Brave plus single target HP attack, so there is an HP dump with his upgraded Brave Attack plus Awaken, and you will Brave heal self by 20% of HP damage dealt. HP attack plus Awaken. This is a 6-hit Holy Brave plus HP attack with 50% HP splash. Let's say you let Awaken expire and his HP was consumed by 80%. Luckily, his additional ability does have some healing built into it for himself instantaneously. So HP, heal, advance, all 3 uses of this. HP, heal the party by 20% of max HP, and the additional effect for 3 turns, plus 10% party stolen, brave, overflow. And I do have Onion Knight there because you can use this ability for free after using Onion Knight's LD ability. Ceodore's EX ability, Vibra Plus. This does charge at a fast recast speed. Now, there are 2 versions of this, Vibra Plus and Vibra Plus Plus. Alright, so he gets access to his Vibra Plus while Awakening is active, and it's going to hit harder. Alright, so long story short, it's just going to hit harder. So Vibra Plus, in its standard form, what this is going to do is a 4-hit AoE melee brave plus HP attack split, executed twice. Vibra Plus is executed 3 times with 6-hit AoE melee brave plus HP attack. The Brave Potency for Vibra Plus is hitting at 80% Brave Potency for Brave Hit. The upgraded version is hitting at 50% Brave Potency. They both will, with the passives, the Brave damage will be increased by 35%, up to 35% if you're hitting weakness damage. And if you are targeting a single target, the Brave damage is increased by 60%. Vibra Plus will Brave heal the party by 20% of HP damage dealt, and this will inflict Holy Linchpin on all the targets. Something to note with Ceodore at EX plus 2 out of 3, when the quest starts, he will gain access to his Red Wings buff for 6 turns, and he will also have a free ability use on his very first turn, so you can go right into his Awakening ability to grant him Awaken for free. When the battle starts, so pretty much at every single wave start, this will inflict Holy Linchpin on all the targets for 4 turns. After maxing out Ceodore's EX weapon, you will gain access to a C-type bonus sphere. When the wielder breaks or is attacking a broken target, this will HP heal the party by 5% of individual max HP. So nice way to heal the party members while just attacking the enemies. And finally, Ceodore's last weapon, his last ability, his LD ability, Divine Heal. He has 4 uses of this. Upon using Divine Heal, this will cleanse the party of all of their debuffs, HP heal the party by 80% of individual max HP, Brave heal the party by 100% of current HP, and then here comes the damage. 4-hit ranged Holy AoE Brave plus HP attack, split HP attack, followed by a 6-hit ranged Holy AoE Brave plus HP attack, split HP attack, hitting at a 70% Brave potency per Brave hit, and the passives are increase the Brave damage by 5%, and this will grant him Awaken for 5 actions instead of his Awakening ability, which grants it to him for 4. His LD ability will grant it to him for 5, so this is a nice way to refresh Awaken if it's about to expire, so you don't consume 80% of his HP. And this will also grant him a buff called Bearing the Next Generation. Bearing the Next Generation is a 14-turn buff that is going to increase the party's attack and max Brave by 20%. And when your party where your allies' HP is equal to or above 100%, Ceodore will get a further boost to this. So this will increase Ceodore's attack and max Brave by 30%. So total, Ceodore can have an additional plus 50% to his attack and max Brave. Only catch is, again, you have to make sure your allies, your party is at 100% of their HP. Ceodore's LD call action will be Divine Heal Call. Ceodore is going to come in, he's going to perform Divine Heal, which will cleanse all your party members of their debuffs. Brave heal the party, Brave and HP, and followed up with some damage. So even if you do not build up Ceodore fully, if you happen to pick up his LD weapon and just max him out just for this reason alone, just for the LD call ability, I believe this is a really good call action to have on your roster, on your team, so you could bring as an off character, so to say, not in your actual party, but as an ability to heal up your party members and to also cleanse your party of any form of debuffs. Ceodore's final piece of equipment, and that is his 7-star armor that's going to come with the Unity's Keystone. This will increase the party's Brave damage cap by 5% and also increase Ceodore's own held Brave and HP damage caps by 10%. Some pros about Ceodore is that he has some party stat increases built into his kit. He is a party healer in terms of Brave and HP, and he actually has some nice damage with his Brave attack plus HP attack plus Awaken in place of his non-offensive second ability Awakening. Cons about Ceodore is going to be once his Awaken special effect expires, this will consume 80% of his current HP, so be very, very careful, especially if you're about to receive a hefty attack from the enemy. And the party must be at 100% of their HP for Bearing of the Next Generation, his LD buff, to receive the full benefits. So remember, that's an additional 30% to max Brave and attack for Ceodore. Alright friends, now we're at that portion of the video. How worthy are they? How worthy is Ceodore of your precious tickets and or gems. First and foremost, we are going to be receiving a free multi-draw on this banner, and this is a really good spot to pick up Onion Knight's Burst if you have yet to do so. Ceodore lies within the worthy bracket of my worth-a-meter. Now let's forget about Paladin Cecil here for a second, because we all know how strong he's going to be, and a lot of players are going to be pulling for Paladin Cecil and most likely probably skipping out on Ceodore, especially if you're not a Final Fantasy IV fan. So for right here, right now, this is solely looking at Ceodore himself, just looking at his own kit without forgetting about the entire roster here for a brief moment. I will say this though, that Ceodore, he definitely has an interesting play style in terms of his Awaken special effect buff. If you are personally not a fan of managing his Awaken special effect buff because you don't want to deal with the 80% HP consumption when it expires, hey, you know what? I am not judging, nothing but respect. We have Big Papa P incoming. But for those giving Ceodore a chance, what he does, he actually does pretty well. He can dish out some nice damage. He can inflict Holy Linchpin on his targets, which is going to further boost his holy damage on top of dropping the enemy's attack by 20%. Heal the party in terms of Brave and HP healing. Has a self cleanse with his Awakening ability and with his LD ability Divine Heal towards the entire party. And Divine Heal, this is carried over to his LD call action, which I personally believe is a good LD call action because it can massively Brave Heal your party, again, to both Brave and HP, while also cleansing the debuffs on them. So even if you do not get his entire kit, you literally just get his LD weapon for free and you get his boards just for the LD call action. Hey, awesome, great, you have a healer. You have an ability that can heal your party. No judgments here. I'll probably do the same thing if I get his LD weapon for free. He does repeat later down the line with Agrias when Agrias gets her LD and rework. If you guys unfortunately don't have the resources now, you can pick him up on a later date. And finally, to the players who are Lufenia conscious that pull characters to beat Lufenia content, there are going to be some Lufenias that absolutely absorb Holy, because we have Paladin Cecil, who's a very powerful unit, and he does Holy base damage while enhancing your party members with Holy. Ceodore does have Holy built into his kit, so he will be shut out from some of those stages. But, I mean, there's going to be 8 of them from now until the Lufenia Plus era, so that's at least, what, 30, 35 Lufenias? 8 out of 35 Lufenias where he cannot be used. In terms of special counter, the condition to cleanse your party of debuffs or any form of debuff in order to increase the special counter, there's going to be a few. There's going to be his very own. There's going to be when Yuna debuts later down the line in another story chapter, when Yuna gets her LD and burst. And there's going to be a Transcendence stage. I believe it was 4 Left Gate, where there was a big slime that you had to cleanse any form of debuff or debuffs in order to increase the special counter. So there are some Lufenias where he is going to come in handy. But of course, there are some alternatives if you do not pick up some Ceodore, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. So at the end of the day, friends, not looking at these other units, Ceodore is a worthy consideration of your tickets and or gems if you are looking to pull for him. Happen to be broke or just not a fan of the one they call the Ceodore? Yes, there are some alternatives that you could potentially pick up or you may already have in your roster. So first and foremost, these are just some examples, and second, these are some units that do something similar to what Ceodore does in terms of wholly enhancing or cleansing your party of their debuffs. We already have Kuja in the game with his LD. Kuja is going to be repeating fairly soon alongside Y'shtola when Y'shtola gets her LD and burst. So you could potentially pick him up there if you did miss out on him. Kuja with his LD, he party enhances with his Ring Holy. He inflicts Holy Resist down. Paladin Cecil. Alright, a lot of players are very excited for Paladin Cecil. He's probably the closest in terms of what Ceodore does, quote unquote, in terms of inflicting Holy Resist down. He does have Brave Battery HP healing towards your party, but Paladin Cecil can enhance your entire party with Holy. And of course, Paladin Cecil will be receiving a burst weapon. Ashe, when she gets her LD later down the line, she will have the capabilities to enhance your party with Thunder and Holy. Now, when it comes to debuff cleansers, I would recommend that you guys try to pick up someone if you guys haven't yet to do so. So if you don't go for Ceodores, if you already have Balthier, Balthier does have party debuff cleansing built into his LD ability. The downside about Balthier is that he does not currently have LD boards, so you cannot use his LD ability as a LD call action. Penelo is another debuff cleanser built into her LD call action. So if you are hurting on resources and you need some form of debuff cleanser, you already have the Penelo, you are good to go. And if I had to point my finger at one of these must pull units, of course it's going to be Paladin Cecil. In terms of the LD call action, out of these two, I mean, Balthier doesn't have one, so I would probably still pick Ceodore over the Penelo for the LD call action. But again, at that point, it's up to you, depending if you have Penelo in your roster or not. That is it for this video, friends. I want to thank you guys for watching. How worthy are they covering Ceodore? Be sure to let me know down below in the comments your overall thoughts about Ceodore, your plans for Ceodore. Are you guys gonna pull for him, or are you guys just skipping him for Papa P? Big Papa P, Big Papa P. I'm talking about Paladin Cecil. All right, the big dog. He's coming in. He's a very strong unit to consider to add onto your team compositions. Me personally, for Ceodore, I don't have Penelo's LD call action. You guys saw that I do value Ceodore's LD call action. So we'll see how the free multi-draw goes, and I might throw some tickets in attempts to get his LD weapon to just max it out, get his boards, and literally just use it for the LD call action to brave heal and HP heal the party members while cleansing them of any form of debuffs. Alright, friends, so we'll see how RNG goes. If RNG decides to give me his EX weapons too, then maybe I will build him up. It really depends on RNG and what it decides to give me. But for sure, I will be throwing some tickets on his banner. All right, friends. So again, let me know your own personal plans down below in the comments. And until next time, friends, good luck and have a good one.